Y'all, we're back with Lackluster, another banger of a police body cam video. I suspect here it says Clueless, lying cops escalate simple encounter. Let's see what happens in this latest installment of Cops Gone Wild.
You eye me one more time, we're gonna have problems.
You are a public servant.
And the white we don't have to listen to you. We hate two-faced people, and you just admitted on camera that you're two-faced. I'm not taking him to the office. He doesn't want to identify himself. We already know who he is. So okay. I didn't tell you. Sit on the bumper. Listen,
you
buddy.
Said you want the license.
Listen.
Welcome back to the Lackluster
Here we go,
channel.
egos.
In September of 2023, Deputy Pocket of the Grand Isle Sheriff's Office was on patrol just a few clicks south of the Canadian border when he saw a vehicle driving towards him in the other direction, owned and operated by Stephen, who had lived near two other deputies of the small agency for a number of years. The road leading into the town has a speed limit of 50 miles per hour and is reduced to 30 upon reaching this gas station. After seeing Stephen's...
Oh, by the way, I hate when that happens, when you have those areas where it's fast and then you turn a corner and then you immediately see the 20-mile-an-hour. You're like, yo, I'm doing 50, like, and the cops will sit on that curve, bro. I swear that they be getting you, and it's usually in like the suburbs or on the in the rural areas. They'll get you like that, man.
Vehicle, it appears he is traveling close to the posted limit, but there is no radar available to determine his actual speed. But Deputy Pocket makes a U-turn and begins to follow Stephen, activating his emergency lights. You can then observe brake lights as Stephen immediately begins to pull over, far ahead of the deputy, who then pulls in behind Stephen. Deputy Pocket then approaches, a perfect time to activate Attorney Shield, but instead, about 25 seconds pass before Eric, the passenger, begins recording.
You get a car? Nope, nobody's gonna talk? Wonderful.
Plead the fifth.
That's fine. Is there any weapons in the car or anything like that?
That'd be a question, sir.
I can ask you as many questions as I want. You don't.
We told you we don't answer them.
That's fine. I can still ask them. You're gonna give that back to me for me?
Turned out 15.
Right. Are you active duty in the military? Wonderful. Get in the car, don't get out.
The free expression of their constitutional rights.
They don't gotta answer the questions. This is gonna be interesting, and this is why the cops are gonna fuck with them now. Oh shit! Hold on. Oh, it's gonna be funny.
Appears to have frustrated the LARPer. Annoyed, Deputy
He called him a LARPer. Oh, Lackluster be taking shots. It's hilarious.
Pocket returns to his cruiser. 3 minutes pass, and a secondary unit arrives.
Here we go.
One of the neighbors mentioned earlier.
Hey, man, what's up?
What's going on?
Not much. You?
Going home?
Everything all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Just wondering. Okay.
Just going home. Is your body camera on?
Yeah.
How come it's not blinking?
It doesn't have to. It's on. Don't you worry about it. It's on.
We'll follow Freedom from Action Act for that too, to make sure.
Whatever you gotta do, boss.
Good. There he goes. Now it's on.
It's been on. Okay. He just asked me to come here. Just seeing what was...
Because he didn't like that we don't answer his frivolous questions.
You don't have to.
Exactly.
The driver has to, you know...
He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Did I say he did?
So he called you for backup because he didn't like that we weren't going to answer his nonsense questions. That's all it is.
No problem.
We have nothing on. We don't... We're just heading home.
No problem. Did I say you did anything illegal? No.
You can't, because there's no probable cause to say such.
And...
He just, like he got checkmated. He just walked off. Like he just walked off. He's like, I don't know what to say to this. I just got to leave the spot. This is so bad. Yeah, small towns, bro. I couldn't. The thing about the small town cops is they have nothing better to do than to pull you over for something like a traffic. You're speeding. You're going 5 miles over, whatever. Maybe, like obviously if you're like doing 30 plus, it's crazy. But they will stop you for literally the tail light, or you didn't have your turn signal on. Like frivolous. In the grand scheme of things, is it going to be detrimental? No. But they use it as a means to keep them busy for their 8-hour boring ass shift in the backwoods of whatever town and city they reside in.
What do you stop me for?
I don't know. He said he was going too fast.
Okay.
I think I was doing about 35 miles an hour way back there by the Jolly.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
I don't know. He didn't tell me.
Okay.
He's asking me where I'm going, what I'm doing, all this stuff. It's like, what's going on here?
Okay. Just we ask everybody the same questions. All right, no problem.
I don't know what his purpose of just standing there is, just to watch him.
We'll get here in just a minute. I was just curious. What's going on?
15 minutes is the total weight on a strap sock, right? 15 minutes what you got?
Varies from time to time. It's not exact 15 minutes.
I think that's like the regulations.
I could argue with you.
No one's trying to argue with you. I'm just telling you there's a rule for this.
Sounds like he's coming back up.
It's a lawful thing.
We never give you a hard time. I'm not saying you gave us a hard time, but it's interesting you're acting differently with that guy in the car than
That's how I act from now on. Now, when I get stopped, I don't answer any questions.
And you don't have to.
I'm not going to put myself in whatever terms that's how I practice.
I'm not saying
It's my lawful. It's my right too.
as it is.
You know that.
Stephen was issued a warning and was free to leave, but 2 months later, Deputy Pocket was parked off the main road and noticed Stephen driving past. The deputy pulls out slowly and begins a left turn to follow Stephen, and based on this dashcam video, roughly 10 seconds pass before he activates his emergency lights. By the time Little Pocket turns onto the road, Stephen's vehicle cannot be seen, and another 10 seconds pass before his vehicle is even in frame.
Wait a minute. What are the odds that he sees the same car and stops him again?
Already.
And the thing too is, how if you're gonna try and pull him over for speeding, is there not a radar gun to justify the stop? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got so many questions here. How are you just continually stopping the same guy? There's no radar to justify this?
Parking in the post office parking lot, and by the time the pocket deputy pulls into the lot, Stephen can be seen walking up to the entrance, but stops and turns around before entering. Audio is not available, as Deputy Pocket failed to activate his body-worn camera in a timely manner, but eventually he gets it turned on.
Because you're getting pulled over. Get back in the car. Get back.
We've seen this before. Like, you're already out of the car and they're trying to make you a traffic stop to get back in the car is so weird to me.
In the car. We're not playing this.
Grand Isle 16 St. Albans, I'll be 75 in the post office parking lot. 16, 14, 25.
Get back in the car. Come here. Come here. Stop. You're getting pulled over. Enough. Do you have anything on you? Okay. Just face the car. Just face the car.
Don't touch
Stop,
me.
sir. Stop. You're getting pulled over for an inspection sticker. Just stop.
Why are you
okay? Because you got out of the car on a traffic stop. You can't do that. Do you understand me? Stop. Okay, just put your hands behind your back, okay? Stop. What are you doing, dude?
Stephen claims he did not know he was being pulled over until the moment he turned around, but Deputy Pocket now claims that Stephen got out of his vehicle during a traffic stop. This is demonstrably false.
This is
but Deputy
so bad.
Pocket will continue the lie throughout the encounter when addressing backup units, knowing that it would sound like a much more egregious act than the truth of catching up to Stephen just before he entered the post office.
This is enough.
Enough of
Is that a
what?
gun or?
Yeah, this is my weapon. Why are you touching my stuff?
Because you got out of the car on a traffic stop. You can't do that.
When I came in here.
Well, I told you to get back in the car. That's not how this works, okay? That's not how this works.
Yeah, but your tone of voice when you speak to me is not very...
Well, when you get out of the car on a traffic stop, you can't do that. And then you didn't get back in when I told you to.
I went
You
to
gotta-
get my mom. They're even here, man. Hey,
Well, when you see the lights and the sirens,
the door.
it's for an inspection sticker enough. Do you have your license on you, man?
Can you stop touching me?
Well, when you get out of the car on a traffic stop, that's not safe for me. Do you understand that?
I wasn't even
That's how we do
stopped by you.
Yes, you were. That's what the lights and the sirens mean. Do you have your license and registration on you? Yeah. Do you have your license, registration, insurance on you?
Yeah.
Do you have any other weapons on you or in the vehicle?
I don't.
Okay. Hop back in the car. Enough, okay? Just listen to what I tell you to do and we don't have any issues. That's it. Do you understand?
I have been listening. I asked you a question.
Well, you didn't listen because I told you to get back in the car and you didn't.
Stay in the car, pup. Stay in the car.
Nice dog. Okay. Get your license, your registration, and your insurance.
Stop with
You understand?
your tone of voice.
Hey,
Nina.
stop it. You're being
Stop.
ridiculous.
Just chill.
Don't be respectful.
I was told to get my mail, and he jumped out and you're yelling at me, man. Well, you know what? We can deal with that after. Right now, listen to what he has to say. Okay?
I was listening.
Okay.
They grabbed me.
Are you all right?
Around.
Are you all right today?
I'm sick. Would you stop?
Actually, hold on. I'm gonna turn your car off. Hold on. I'm gonna turn your car off because I don't.
My license right there. Grab it.
All right, grab it.
Yeah.
Man, lately you've been giving us a lot of problems lately.
How am I giving you a problem?
And then the next time you sit by the road, you chum us up like we're your friend, but then we stop.
I'm not chumming anyone up and talking to Blake.
And you've done it to me too. So we seem to have as long as we're not turning our blue lights on, we're cool. And the moment we turn our blue lights on, you cop an attitude.
I never said a problem. What's the?
Give me your
license. You only have attitude right.
Give me your license.
I don't have attitude. You'll know when I have an attitude, and I don't have that right now. Step to the front of this car.
When you see, go to the front of the car.
Why are you not listening?
I have been listening. You guys are being really.
We're not. We're being. Oh, well, I can tell you, we're treating you with respect and being fine with you.
When you come up and grab me when I was just standing there.
Well, here's the deal. When you get pulled over by the police and the police tell you to do something when the blue lights are on, you get back in the car.
We don't have
you
to
have to listen.
You're my servant.
No, we don't have to listen.
You're
not playing the.
I'm not playing, dude.
Yes,
we don't have.
I was out of my car when you pulled in. I was already out of my car going down.
That's really the only point he needs to argue is be like, I was out of my car 2 feet or whatever feet from the door when you turned in with your lights on. That was not I'm saying, like, that's the only real part he needs to argue.
We don't have to listen to you.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
was.
sit down. Sit down.
So what do you want from me?
Sit down on the
He's
bumper.
telling you what to do, so sit down.
Stop. Sit down.
Really?
No, what's really is you acting the way you're acting. We're sick of it. For 1 second, be
like
quiet
what?
while I talk to you. You want to come chum us up when we're not doing law enforcement, then you act like this, a raging jerk, and with your
How
bike,
am I-
stop.
So they're basically trying to scold him about how he's treating them. This shit is so frivolous right now.
Interrupting me and
Gets
shut
out
your
of the
mouth.
car, tries to go inside, doesn't listen to anything.
No,
I say.
wow, is we're sick of your crap and the way you
Pat
act.
him down, took a gun
We're
off
sick
him.
of it. Don't come pulling up to
Won't
us
listen to the
anymore
fucking thing I
and
say
acting
to
like
say.
we're friends,
Does he?
and then pull this shit on
Won't
traffic
listen to a
stops.
thing
We're
that I
done.
say.
You understand me. Don't pull up next to us anymore.
am I acting?
Because you're two different people. When the lights come on, you're my servant. You do what I say. Then when
That's not what I said.
Yes, it is.
You said I don't have to listen to you.
Let's just start the
You
paperwork and get it
obviously
going,
do
and then we'll get it.
It's a
going.
two-way street.
It is, but when
Who
you
is
are
he?
two-faced
You
like
don't
you've
give me his
been,
I'm not
yeah, you are.
two-faced. Now
You're two-faced. You have your. Hey,
The sergeant on scene now adds to the gaslighting, first by stopping the bully lecturer to ask for Steven's license.
hey, you have your license?
Yeah, I was trying to get it, but I'm getting all roughed up.
Well, we're not roughing you up. Did you? Hey, over here.
The sergeant then directs Steven to pay attention to him, and after having been repeatedly asked for his driver's license, Steven turns to get it for Sergeant Allen.
Yeah, you are.
Now
You're
you're
two-faced.
right.
You have your. Hey, you have your license?
Yeah, I was trying to get it, but I'm getting all roughed up.
Well, we're not roughing you up. Did you? Hey, over here, Mr. Bellows. Sick of it. So I didn't tell you. Sit on the bumper. Listen, buddy.
You want?
They're fucking with him so tough right now, bro. This reminds me of being in boot camp when your drill instructor, one would tell you to do one thing, the other one would tell you to do something different, and no matter what you do, they're both screaming at you because they fuck with you.
The license.
Listen.
No, I'm
what
talking
fucking
to you.
part of listen do you not understand?
What do you want me to do?
Did you not?
To listen.
I'm listening. What?
I don't know why he got to grab him like this. This shit's mad disrespectful, man.
Keep your ass on the bumper and listen.
They tried walking away from you.
And he had a gun on
I
him.
was already out of the car before he pulled in.
But when I get out of the
Do you have it
car
on
and
your
tell
camera?
you,
And
when I tell you to
stood
get
there
back
and
in
I
your
said,
car,
what's
3
going on?
times, I told you
I
you're
asked
getting
you a
pulled over,
question,
get
what's
back in
up?
the car.
He's been escalating every time we've dealt with
I'm
him in the
not
last month and a half.
escalating.
What we're gonna do with.
How am I escalating?
Do you have a license on you? Yes or no?
Right in my wallet. So you can find it. I'm not moving because I don't want to be grabbed.
Okay, so why didn't you stop when the deputy asked you to stop? Why'd you keep walking away?
I turned around and stood there, Blake.
But why didn't you?
I'll answer your question. I stood there and I said, he got out and he said, get in your car.
And why didn't
I said,
you?
what's up?
But
He's like, you're being pulled over. I'm like, for what?
But you
And then he comes up and grabs me and throws me on my car.
You were not thrown on the car.
Yes, you did.
It's all on camera.
But how come you wouldn't listen to his commands?
I walked towards him. I went to my car.
So
He asked. You're the one getting out.
we wouldn't touch anybody if they were doing what we asked them to do.
I was standing there and I
Where
walked
would
to
it
my
normally be in your
car.
license? And to him, we're his servants. We're servants.
In the white thing, you are a public servant.
And we don't have to listen to you. You don't have Supreme Court, as you know, has already ruled on a traffic stop. We don't have to listen to a word you say. There's a time and a place, which is court.
This is the only white thing. I won't speak then. If I'm not listening, I won't speak.
What you said.
I'll exercise Stephen Bell.
Stephen, what's your date of birth? Stephen, what's your date of birth?
All right, then buckle him up, take him to the office. He doesn't want to identify himself. We already know who he is.
We know who he is.
He's playing this. So the last couple times he's been
Just start the paperwork, write everything.
So I'm telling you right now, don't pull up next to me and try and chum me up, because I'm sick of your crap. Do you understand me? If you see me on the side of the road, do not come talk to me.
Stephen, do you have insurance for the car?
I have no fucking right.
Stephen, enough is enough, okay? I stopped you for an inspection sticker violation. This is ridiculous. Do you have insurance for the car?
An inspection sticker violation? How did he see that when he drove by?
Yes or no? Is it in the car?
$12.
Do you give Corporal Allen permission to get it out?
Because he'll
who's it through?
State Farm.
There we go.
I guess we'll try to get it from him then.
Sergeant Allen now asks Officer Pocket some clarifying questions that are answered with blatant lies.
So what, you just kept walking away from me?
Yeah. No, I didn't know. And then I'm like, well, come back over here, and then he's acting all
Well, I want the camera.
And then I saw the guy, so I was like, no, we're not playing this game.
And last time we dealt with him, he had a new guy with him
you're allowed
that
to carry,
was
but when
like
you're not
sovereign
listening
citizen.
to my commands.
It's not a sovereign citizen.
Oh, is this Albert?
Yeah, the guy that you stopped.
Yeah.
So this is him right here. And then, like 2 weeks later, he's chumming me up like we're buddies, even though, which is fine.
I didn't even talk to you. I was talking to Blake.
But why wouldn't you listen to what he was telling you to do in the first place?
I did. I walked towards him. I said, "What's up?" I asked a question. You're being poor. I said, "For what?" Like I would if I was in my car.
Or did he ask you to sit in the car?
He asked me to go to the car, and I stood by the car, and then he grabbed me and pushed me in the car.
How many times did he ask you to get into the car?
Once, and then I went over to the car, and he's like, "Oh, you have a gun." I'm like,
well, I've known Deputy Pocket for a very long time.
well, it should be all on the camera.
Yeah.
And the problem is, too, due to the interaction last time where he was hostile with his passenger.
How am I hostile?
So now, due to the way you've been acting lately, you're going to...
hostile?
No.
And there lies the problem with law enforcement in the United States. They are charged with being the defenders of our God-given rights, and are alleged to keep us free from those who wish to take our property, life, or freedoms, whether the aggressors are citizens or their brotherly government officials. However, Corporal Allen believes that Stephen is, quote, hostile for refusing to answer the arbitrary questions posed by the state actors.
By the way, this is all protected stuff, and he acts... it's scary that he says that that's hostile. You exercising your right is hostile to an officer, because you're not doing what they want you to do is hostile, when specifically it is a protected right. And that's the problem with these ego-driven maniacs that have a badge. They are the problem.
It's apparent that he takes great offense to being treated as a figure of government authority should be treated.
And in what in what world is grabbing a person like this? That's uncalled for. Right? That's just not proper.
With silence, though he likely
he's scolding
sees
at
himself
him.
as a
He's scolding him like a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is unprofessional as fuck.
great patriot. He ridicules Stephen for exercising the protected rights that separate the United States from every other country in the world. First, by telling Stephen to shut up.
You act like this, a raging jerk, and with your bike, stop interrupting me and shut your mouth.
Tries to go inside, doesn't listen to anything.
No, wow, we're sick of your crap and the way you act.
Then making an issue over the mere possession of a firearm.
And he had a gun.
I was already out of the car.
And finally, claiming that remaining silent is hostile.
Last time where he was hostile with his passenger.
And without even incorporating the unlawful search and seizure, which we'll get to in a moment, the deputy is betraying 3 of the first 5 amendments to the US Constitution, which, if I'm doing my math correctly, makes him the least patriotic individual on scene.
Obviously you're the victim as usual, which is fine. You have a right to be a victim, but so when you act a certain way against us, then it escalates things. If you're cool with us, we're cool with you. But when now lately you've been two-faced the last couple times I've dealt with you, so now we don't trust you, which is fine. But when you act a different way with
HRE 281.
But when you act this way, a different way, then I see you outside, and then you're like, hey, how's it going? Or you're, and then you try and be my buddy.
I'm not on a traffic stop.
It doesn't matter.
Why can't
We're
you
doing
treat
a
us the
job.
same way on a traffic stop or not? Just because we wear a uniform and we come in
Because
contact with you.
anything I say incriminates myself. It's a Fifth Amendment.
If you would have just followed what he told you, he probably would have just gave you a warning and sent you on your way. No, I think there's more to this because, like I said, I've known
What do
deputy.
you think?
Yeah, go watch the body cam.
Talk real quick. So every time I know Deputy Pocket pretty well.
Go through my whole car. Go for it.
We don't need to search your car. We're not even asking you to. But you shouldn't. Do I treat you any differently whether I'm in uniform or out of uniform? Huh?
No.
So then don't treat me any differently because I'm wearing a uniform or I'm not wearing a uniform. Or you're on a traffic stop or not on a traffic stop. If you're just cool and calm with us, then we'll just go through the motions and get you out of here. We have better shit to do.
Until I got
I'm sure the cops in Vermont have nothing better to do, bro. What's really happening in Vermont? Do we even know what happens in that fucking state? It's just there in the top portion of the U.S. fucking woods.
Passively resisting when I got here.
Because we don't just do that just for no reason.
You eye me one more time, we're gonna have problems.
Like what? What sort of problems would a fine patriot like yourself create from being looked at?
I'm sick of your shit.
This isn't how, like, but you just said yourself that you treat us differently on traffic stops. So obviously we're gonna treat people.
I get pulled over, I don't speak anymore because it incriminates yourself.
But you have to.
Did he only ask you simple
my rights are. I've been reading law books.
Yeah,
I'm
we hear you.
exercising my rights.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, then we're going to exercise our rights on our private time that we don't need to be friendly to people.
Well, yeah, you won't talk to me.
We're not going to because we hate two-faced people. And you just admitted on camera that you're two-faced. Because you treat us differently when we're just trying to provide for our families and keep it safe out here.
I'm just trying to survive.
Even no,
the issue here is this cop is taking out all of the stuff that he feels that he sees on social media about people bashing on cops, and now he's trying to take all that frustration and vindicate, you know, his self and other cops, and he's trying to fight that battle through him.
So this is the new him now, just so you're aware. I wouldn't give him 2 seconds of your time anymore. We've always been cool with you. Here we go. We're all free citizens.
I didn't go through your wallet, only the stuff that was out of it.
But you have to. But if you're traveling on the road, you have to follow the rules that the state of Vermont has governed. Which means you have to listen to the police.
So that way it doesn't blow.
You have to listen to our lawful commands, and there's a time and a place to go.
I was.
And you're interrupting.
It's not even.
No, it's not. But this is what I was telling you about after that traffic stop. How he's two-faced.
Well, now he just admitted to me that he's going to treat me differently.
Speaking about me after traffic stops, which is.
No, I put his 10-0 code out because of your hostile thing to make sure my fellow co-workers are safe, because you obviously can't be trusted.
That actually sounds like they set up a target on his back, to be honest with you. The way he's kind of setting it up. Like, you're talking about this guy, now everybody is aware, so now they all go up to him and approach him and treat him differently than they would anybody else that they stopped.
And you just admitted on our camera that you treat us differently when we're in uniform when we're not. So you're the one that shouldn't be trusted.
I don't treat anyone differently. I'm not going to speak to people on my traffic spot.
No, which is your legal right, but in turn, for me, I've known you for a long time, never had an issue with you, right?
That's the thing. I know you guys personally. I've always respected you guys. But when I was telling him the last time I pulled over, every time I go to New York, the more I say, I got a lawsuit with them because they gave me 3 tickets that all got thrown out. They were all unlawful.
But we're not in New York.
Bad experience. I know, but it's the mindset. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard.
But that's like saying for us that we have to treat everybody the same because we have a bad. So like, I can't help you with that situation, but I've never had an issue with you. Always been friendly, talked with you, no issues.
I don't want a problem.
No one's saying you are. But what I'm saying is when you tell me that you're going to treat me differently if I stop you, that doesn't sit very well with me, because now I have to be heightened because you're going to treat me differently.
I wasn't treating him any differently when he came here.
Okay.
I asked him, what's going on? I said, pull over. So I walked towards him.
With a gun, which you're allowed to have, but when you're not listening to the police and you have a handgun on you, he doesn't know you.
Speaking of lawfully carrying a firearm, first, it is important to note that it is unlawful to carry a firearm into a post office or other federal building, even with a carry permit. Aside from that and other exceptions, you may be wondering where Officer Pocket scurried off to. Well, at this time, he is unlawfully and needlessly extending the length of the traffic stop to find and run a serial number on Steven's revolver.
Grand Isle 16, so almost gotta get 99 gun check.
Remember, Stephen was not and is not suspected of criminal activity, and is not believed to be dangerous. However, most states will allow a deputy to seize a gun as a matter of safety, but manipulating the cylinder to find a serial number, and extending the stop to begin a separate investigation into the weapon is an absolute, unlawful search and seizure.
What if we look at the body cam and, or we can prove through dispatch that it added, a minute, 45 seconds to run that serial number through NCIC.
Because like you said, the person is, no indicators that are prohibited. There's no reason they shouldn't have it, and is as if. So are you running a new investigation?
You can't add time to the stop. There's no reason to believe that that person is committing any crime. And you cannot chase daisies here. You can't chase other, hunches.
Just start looking for stuff to see what you find.
That's right. You can't just start chasing these other, these investigations.
Separate things on the one.
To the traffic stop without some reasons. We don't like the guy that has nothing going on except speeding and a gun. We should not add time to the traffic stop.
Deputy Pocket's unlawful extension of the traffic stop added nearly 2.5 minutes to the encounter. And, in the deputy's own words,
I stopped you for an inspection sticker violation. This is ridiculous.
And during the extension, Stephen is forced to sit and listen to more of this.
But it goes, you have every right to not answer questions or anything, but you do not have a right to disregard a lawful order. I wasn't here, but I also know Deputy Pocket.
Alright, it's just word against word, but I'm telling you, I just stood there. I didn't try to go in.
He was did he ask you
when
to
I was
step back in the
5 feet
car?
from the door,
Yep.
he pulled in and hit the siren. I
Yep.
turned around and I said, "What's up?" He's like, "You're being pulled over." I'm like, "Okay," and I walked towards the car.
Yeah.
I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "Just go in the car," and I'm like, "Okay," and then he grabbed me and put me on the car.
So he was passively resisting.
See, like the sergeant there hearing that story. If you're outside the door, he got to be thinking like, well, that don't sound too great. You're coming in with the lights on after the fact I'm out the car. That's crazy.
When I got here, not listening and arguing, so he can say what he wants. If it's a fraction of what I saw, I know why Deputy Bucket did what he did.
The ones that are aggressive towards me.
No, because you don't listen. Because you don't listen. You cannot answer questions like the sergeant said, but you have to follow our lawful commands, no matter what. And if you don't want to, stay home.
Let him pat me down.
Oh, you let him pat you down.
It's not even worth it.
No.
Well, he wanted to. He wanted to grab me and put my hands
Well,
on
now
my back.
this is so from here on out, don't come up to any of our cruisers unless you have a complaint to make or a case.
You can't tell him what to do, bro. This guy's out of control.
No, don't. Because now I don't trust you. Especially if I'm wearing the uniform, because you've already said you're basically like, I don't know what you're gonna do. And you just put on camera that you're treating us differently in uniform. So now you are not to be trusted. And you will be treated as such, just so you know. If I stop you, you're gonna have zero chances.
I want the camera, I want to put a FOIA request for all this.
That's fine.
Yeah, so you can see yourself saying you treat us differently in and out of uniform. Which is your right, but you can't.
This cop just won't shut up. He just won't shut up. His ego is so hurt. He just has to keep rambling on this guy and trying to scold him like a kid.
Treat people and say that and then expect
you hurt my feelings and I'm not gonna trust you anymore if I stop you. Meh. That's this fucking big ass crybaby. You're too big, bro. Look at this guy, 6 foot something, clearly crying to this guy. You're so fucking butthurt, sensitive and egos, bro.
Exercising my rights on my traffic stop.
Right, but your exercise for a right on a traffic stop is to not answer questions, correct?
If I don't want to, I don't have to.
But is it?
I don't have to be talking right now.
Right, but that doesn't mean you can't follow commands if given. I'm just hear me out. I'm not saying you did or didn't. I'm just saying.
I always do follow commands.
And if somebody asks you for a license,
when you pulled me over in Albert, I gave him all my paperwork. I said, "Here you go." And he was asking me all these questions. I said, "You all know where I'm going? I'm looking at tobacco. I'm going home. I work 10 hours."
Yeah.
That's it. You guys want to drug test me, do everything?
Nobody's
I'm
asking.
straight as zero. I don't care.
All we're asking is be treated
10
fairly.
years
And
ago,
just so
my
you're aware,
car got ripped apart in the sandbar for drugs. There's nothing in there.
I'm pretty sure you can't wear a gun into a federal building.
You can't. So you just committed a federal
I
crime.
didn't go in there.
Just saying, I'm just educating.
How
I'm
close
not
was he
saying
into the
anything.
building with his firearm?
We're not
Look
accusing
at this guy. He wants to get him on something. This guy's a dickhead.
you, so don't say that we are. I'm just saying that, and future reference, if you're going to the post office, probably not.
I didn't see signage.
It's federal building. You can't.
Okay, well, I didn't
I'm
see
just
signage.
I'm just saying.
Thank you for letting me know. I did
Steven,
not
That's
know.
just
I'm going to
prevent.
put your handgun on your passenger side seat. Do not touch the gun until we're done. Do you understand?
Because you can get a federal offense for that.
I didn't know that.
People get uppity, well, mostly in the post office, stuff like that. So is your plan to get the windshield fixed soon?
So yeah, so I wrote you a warning for the inspection and the windshield, but the car's not registered. Nope. So I wrote you a ticket for that. It's $162 fine. No points. Fines are preset by the state, not by me. You have 20 days to respond to the ticket. If you do something with it in 20 days, pay it and test it. All the instructions are on the back of the ticket. Just follow those. You pay it online. You can mail it in. Just whatever you choose to do. Do something with it in 20 days. And the license could be suspended. Okay?
Stephen was issued a ticket and took care of it, and he is now considering pursuing civil action. But regardless of whether or not he is successful, the important part is done. Publishing your experiences like this show that it is a widespread problem in the United States. Officers throughout the country continue to show us how often it is that they do not understand the law, let alone our constitutional rights and why we exercise them. But as always, I'm curious what you think of this interaction, so let me know in the comments down below.
Well, yeah, it pretty much just showed, like, if I had to guess that they got a hard on for this guy, Steven, the odds that they pull his car over a second time is just crazy. And the thing is the officer said the initial stop was some kind of something inspection. I don't know what he was looking for, but it just seemed odd from what we saw from the beginning of the dash cam that the car just drives by. I don't know how you could have saw any kind of a sticker or something on there, whatever, but that was the justification for the stop. I think at the end of the day, that it's super weird when someone's out of the vehicle and he pulled up into the lot after the fact. He wasn't even in sight. So Steven couldn't even see the lights going off, because at the beginning of the video, you saw he was already way ahead. You didn't even see Steven in sight. And it wasn't until the cop pulled up to the parking lot, we saw Steven out of the car. And that's when he turns in and gives him the commands and all this stuff. So it just seems super frivolous, almost bullying. This cop right here, big fucking crybaby, crying about how he's being treated and all this stuff. Other just pretty frivolous, you know what I'm saying? But it goes a long way in showing kind of what they will do when they got a hard on for you out there, especially if you're in like these smaller towns and stuff where clearly they see each other enough outside of work. The sergeant said they saw each other. Small towns, it's going to happen. That would make it super awkward too. But hopefully that guy gets something out of this. I don't know.